Everybody, we're live in the greenhouses. I'm using two phones, and I've got three live streams going on right now. So let's see here. Here comes Sylvester. All right, so we're in the greenhouses and live on, what do you want? Come say hi. So anyway, live on TikTok, Instagram. You can't have my coffee. TikTok and Facebook and YouTube. And thanks for joining this morning. Hopefully you got your coffee. If you're cool like me, you got a Texas A&M mug because it's college football Saturday. It is actually it's a big day for college football if you're a college football fan. Around these parts, the big game is the Red River rivalry. So we live about 15 miles from the Red River, which separates Texas and Oklahoma. And that's who's playing today in the Red River rivalry. These cats. So that's an exciting one. There's a lot of other fun football games going on, but I'm actually going to take a TV and put it out by the registers to have, hopefully I can get the games on the TV by the registers. That way, as customers are coming in and shopping, they can check in on the game. Mostly it's for me to be able to check in on the game. I see there's a Longhorn fan in the comments. Sorry. But yeah, it's going to be a good day for football. It's actually really nice out. It's a little bit cool this morning. It is 61. It was 60 just a little bit ago, so it's nice and cool. So if you're planning on coming out this morning, get out here now because it's one of those days where it's cool in the morning, but it's going to be hot in the afternoon, just like it has been for the last week and just like it's going to be for the next week. So if you remember, I got fooled hard by false fall this year. I usually don't fall for it, but this year I fell for the false fall. About a month ago, we had just really cool weather, rainy weather, and it felt like fall was here. And we know in Texas that we're going to have a false fall. I know that. And then it's going to get hot again. What some people call the Indian summer. And yeah, it happened. It got hot again. It got dry again. So that's the weather pattern we're in. I'm finally seeing, in the long range forecast, a change for that. So, and it looks like maybe not by next weekend, but early, like Sunday, Monday, we'll actually get some true cool weather where we're going to have, bust out the jackets and hoodies type thing. So, it's coming. I mean, the days are getting shorter. I think this is the last weekend here in North Texas that the sunset is going to be after 7 o'clock. So from here on out, the sunset's going to be in the 6s. Oh, yeah. So, someone on TikTok's asking about an owl update. I actually have really good news. And since you guys are my loyal live audience followers, you get to hear first. Al Sharpton. If you missed the video, I'm not talking about a person named Al Sharpton. That's purely coincidence. There is a great horned owl that came into our greenhouses and actually ran into one of those windows. Now, we don't have like decals on those windows because those are interior windows. So it's pretty rare that birds, especially a big bird like an owl, would be in here. But anyway, really unfortunate. An owl came in, flew, and smacked one of those windows. And it was not looking good. So if you missed that video, go back a couple days and check out the video of taking the owl to the wild bird rescue here in town. I named him Owl Sharpton because he's got really sharp talons. I actually don't know if it's a boy or a girl. But anyway, Owl Sharpton is doing great, is recovering, and they are thinking they can release Owl Sharpton back into the wild. Hopefully, I think Monday. But I'm gonna call the director again tomorrow and schedule that. But we are gonna make, Lord willing, we're gonna make a video releasing Owl Sharpton back into the wild, back out here, not near the windows, but outside, away from the building, where we can get a nice release for that beautiful great horned owl. Huge, beautiful owl. If you missed that video, it's really cool. It's not often that you get to see one of those animals up close, so to be able to hold that thing and get some cool video and pictures of it was really fun. I mean, it was like tragic because I thought the thing was in bad shape, but I'm like 95% sure we're gonna have a happy ending for that video or for that story. So yeah, we've done a weather update. We've done, I don't know what the bird rescue did. They, a lot of times they're just stunned and they just need time to rest and recover. They know how to feed them. They know how to take care of them. They know how to make sure that they're hydrated and all of that while they recover. So the bird rescue, they do a great job. So we're going to go look around. But before we do that, there are some things. We got pumpkin patch going on. And let me tell you, last weekend was crazy, right? So the pumpkin patch it's been bananas because we've got lots of fun activities out there. As you know, if you've been around, we've got slides, we have a maze, we have a bounce house, we have tomorrow, Sunday, there's going to be pony rides again. We've got a pumpkin carriage ride, we have photo ops, and we have just a massive selection of pumpkins and gourds. We're in Wichita Falls, Texas. Someone was asking. So we're gonna walk around and look at flowers here in a minute. But anyway, the pumpkin patch was slammed busy. I mean, if you came, especially Sunday for whatever reason, maybe because the ponies were here, there was no parking on Sunday. We had, I think, like 300 vehicles all at once trying to find parking spaces, and we've only got room for like 200 vehicles. So it was crazy. So if you're coming out this weekend to Pumpkin Patch, try to come out early, like be here at opening if you can. Also because Chickadee's Coffee is out there right now. So you can get breakfast and coffee from Chickadee's. But yeah, come out early or come out like Monday maybe too if you're trying to avoid the crowds, because Monday is also a school holiday here in Wichita Falls. So anyway, it's been fun. The pumpkin patch has been rocking. I think people are loving it. We're getting a lot of positive feedback. So let's flip the cameras around because we have a lot of plants to look at too. And you're probably tired of looking at me by this point. Let me see if I can turn this around. Oh, I forget how to do it on TikTok. Hold on, bear with me. Camera, girar camera. My TikTok is in Spanish for some reason. And then here, I need to click this button. Camera. All right. Sweet. So someone was asking about, what are these tall flowers with wispy leaves and orange blooms? Good morning, Moline. Those are marigolds. Is my camera dirty? Hold on. I think my camera on my TikTok phone is dirty. One moment. Let me try to clean that lens off. Bear with me. Oh, that looks way better. Haha. That's what I get for letting my kids play with that phone. Okay, so yeah, we've got some super tall tree marigolds here. Look at these things. They're literally like 5 to 6 feet tall. Some of them are over 6 feet tall. Let me just stand next to them. Check that out. It's just as tall as me. And I'm like 7 feet tall, you know? So. This marigold variety is, someone was asking on Facebook, Sochi Orange. And they have just massive, massive blooms. Those blooms are 3 to 4 inches across. So these are going to look great in a Day of the Dead display for your ofrendas. There's Sylvester. Look at small. Sylvester's a big cat. And look at those marigolds just towering over him. And then mixed in with the marigolds, we've got brains. These are the celosia. Really big celosia. Sorry, I'm trying to run 2 phones and they don't always look at the same thing all the time. There goes Sylvester. So yeah, those are cool. Those are fun. Someone on Facebook's asking, those are going to die when it freezes, right? Yeah, so the marigolds will die once we get cold. The mums, all these mums in here, are perennial mums, at least for our region, our part of the country. So these mums, once they're done blooming, you can plant them out in the landscape, and then they'll bloom twice a year in the landscape. They'll bloom spring and fall. So if you're buying mums from wherever, if you live, in a southern state, then you can. Dadgummit. Hold on. If you live in a southern state, then what are you doing up there? You can plant these mums after they're done blooming and enjoy them for years to come. So Sylvester's up on the golf cart, and Petunia's trying to figure out what he's doing. She's on the bottom of the golf cart. Okay, maybe they want to go for a ride. So that's one option for someone that was asking about perennial flowers. Mums are one option. Asters are another one. I've got some asters. We can meander over to the perennial section, which are going to be plants that will come back from year to year. But look how gorgeous these are. So some of our mums are now in what I would consider peak bloom. Remember that mums, you get about 4 weeks of bloom time. About 2 of those weeks are going to be peak. So that's when you almost can't see any leaves just because the flowers are covering up the foliage. So this one here, that's a great example of a peak mum. You will get, let me find some examples. You'll get a week or so where they're like this, where they're starting to bloom. So that's the beginning of the bloom. You'll get 2 to 3 weeks of peak bloom. And then I don't have any that are bloomed out, but after peak, you'll get another week or 2 of kind of sporadic blooms as the flowers start to fade. So, 4 weeks, 5 weeks of flower, a couple weeks of peak bloom. Or this year we did something different. There's quite a few places that'll do tricolor mums or mixed mums in one basket and one pot. We did something where we have tricolors that bloom at different times. So like this one, this section of it is peak. This section of it is starting to bloom with this color. And over here on this side, it has not yet bloomed. So this is a mum that you could rotate, put it on your front porch, have this side facing out for this week and, next week, and then rotate it to this side. You've got another two to 3 weeks of peak bloom over here, and then rotate it over to this side, and this will be in peak bloom. So on something like this, you could get 8+ weeks of bloom, good looking blooms, out of something like that. Anyway, that's just a different way of doing it. Sometimes on your tricolor mums, you time them, or you use varieties that all bloom out at the same time. Why not experiment with it? We've got some, someone's saying in zone 5B, this is their first year with a banana plant. How do they get it to come back next year? So if it's a hardy banana, I know people that grow hardy bananas in zone 6. I'm not sure about zone 5. That's pretty stinking cold in zone 5. But your best shot of doing it is right about now for you up there. Chop them down with a machete or a saw. Chop them down and cut them into big pieces, the leaves, the stems, everything, and just cover up the roots with the leaves and the stems from that plant. And then if it wasn't a very large plant, you might need to add additional mulch to it, leaf litter or mulch to cover up the roots and insulate them from the cold. And that's going to be your best bet for overwintering bananas in a colder zone. As long as they're hardy bananas, you've got a chance. Some bananas are not as cold tolerant. So, by the way, have you guys been seeing the monarchs, like swarms of them here in North Texas for the last week? We have seen so many monarchs. I don't actually remember a fall migration of monarchs being as prolific as it was this year. In fact, the last couple of years, I've been underwhelmed by the number of monarchs I've seen. But this year, I'm interested to hear from the people that study the populations of monarchs, because I'm actually optimistic that the monarchs are making a rebound, at least in the Central Plains part of the country, because I've just been seeing just gobs of them and clouds of them all around. They've been coming in my yard. I've seen customers sharing videos. I've been seeing them all over the roadways when I'm out and about in pastures and things like that. So hopefully we hear some good news back that monarchs have made a rebound this year compared to the last few years. All right, so we're obviously looking at some pansies over here. The pansies are starting to look really, really nice. And violas are looking really nice. We've got pretty much all the colors out now for sale on pansies and violas. And October is prime time to get those planted. I'll remind you guys again, if you're waiting on planting your pansies or violas, or Johnny jump ups as some people call them, go ahead and do it now. So October is when we really recommend that you get these planted, because you want them to get rooted in and established and acclimated before the hardest, coldest part of winter hits. So that means, unfortunately, that you're going to need to pull out your summer annuals now and go ahead and get started on your, I love this color. What is this? Delta Clear Violet. So pretty. So yeah, you're going to have to go ahead and pull your summer annuals now. If you've got, periwinkles or annual lantana or whatever it is, moss rose, then go ahead and pull those up and start getting your pansies and violas in the ground. Soon, hopefully in the next week or two, would be a great time to do it. Let's take a peek. Since we're here, let's take a peek back here in the growing greenhouses. these are our production houses, some of our production houses, where the public does not go. So over here, we've got mums. Still have quite a few mums in the back that they haven't brought up yet. But some interesting news. We've probably cleared out... Good morning. We've probably cleared out half of the mums out of here, I would say. And we've got empty table space, so we're starting to space poinsettias over into this area. So once the mums are cleared out, we actually fill it up with poinsettias because they get crowded next door, and we don't want them to be crowded because they grow weird if they get crowded. So we start taking advantage of the empty table space. And so you can see we've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables over here full of poinsettias, and working on some more. So yeah, come buy some mums. That way we'll have room for more poinsettias over here, because let me show you something on the other side. Over here, we have a lot of poinsettias, so we're gonna be running short on space over here. And exciting news, this week, for the first time, we're starting to see hints of color on the poinsettias. Check it out. You see that? I see red. You see red? I see red. So we're getting little flecks of color on the poinsettias this week. They were all solid green. Oh, let's walk over here. I see even more red. But this is the fun time of year where we actually start to get color. And about November, we will see the full transformation where they bloom out and go from green to red or pink or yellow or orange or whatever color we have. So you can see them just starting to blush over here. And that is exciting. So if you don't know, these poinsettias are what we call a photoperiodic plant, which means that they bloom based on the ratio of dark to light. And when the nights get longer, which they are doing right now, that will trigger them to bloom. And then they end up being in full bloom around Christmas time, which is why they became our Christmas plant, even though they're a tropical plant and they don't like cold temperatures. All right, let's head back up front. Oh man, we're almost out of time. Just closing doors. Because we got a staff meeting at 8:30 in the morning on Saturdays. So we'll kind of meander our way back up. I didn't really have time to go into the perennials, I'm sorry, but we have a lot of pretty, we'll peek our head in. We have a lot of pretty perennials. Look at these. Ooh, those foxglove are popping. Ooh, we do have some fall aster, it's not the fall aster, it is a different type of aster called Henry III. Got some of those up here. Anyway, I'll take the long way around. There's Sylvester. What are you doing? We'll do a quick spin through shrub yard, and then we've got to get back inside for staff meeting. I guess we sold a bunch of mums yesterday because there's a lot of empty table space we got to fill back up today, so we'll be restocking. Don't worry, you saw we had more back there. Look at these big old magnolia trees. All right, don't forget, now is the time to plant trees and shrubs. Now is when we have the largest selection of trees. So if you're looking for fruit trees, shade trees, ornamental trees, if you're wanting to get landscape projects done, look at these Abelia blooming their heads off. If you're wanting to get your landscape projects done, come talk to us. It is prime time to plant now, and the weather's going to cool off soon. And yeah, let's get it going. Well, we're expecting a busy day today out here. So hope to see you guys soon if you can make it out to the pumpkin patch or out to the garden center. But thanks for joining this morning, and we'll see you later.